my friends. It is so wonderful to be back. And maybe not on the best terms with what's going on in this country, but on a side note here, we just had one of the biggest earthquakes in about 50 years strike near Salt Lake City, Utah. That's about 10 miles west of Utah. You're seeing this center point here of this earthquake. You can see down here to the left, it is a 5.76 kilometers northeast of Magna, Utah. This is about 10 kilometers in depth, so about 6.6 miles deep. Fairly shallow for this area of Utah. We take a look at the stats from Utah and the earthquakes it's had in the last 42 years all the way up to about 58 years. We can see that this is about the strongest one we've had in close to 60 years in Utah's history. Interesting article I found as well. In December 2019, I believe it was. Let's see. Let's scroll it. Yep, December 13th, 2019. This article came out on the Weather Channel talking about the high risk of earthquakes in the West Coast, including Utah. They specifically talked about Utah, but we've not had much action as far as large earthquakes above 4.8 to a 5.0 in that area. And now we're having aftershocks. All these red dots are pretty immediate, and they've been happening as of right now, actually. So we have 2.8, 3.0, 3.5, 3.4. All these earthquakes and aftershocks you're seeing are pretty much bigger than a lot of the earthquakes we've had in this area altogether. So I wanted to get this out to you guys. There's been reports of power outages. No reports of damage as of now, but if there's power outages, obviously there's got to be some sort of damage. And when I say damage, I mean basically it could be the power that is running to all these buildings in what seems like this giant business district area. Like I said, west of Salt Lake City, and we are about a mile and a half south of Interstate 80, which runs right above here, which basically takes you into Salt Lake City if you keep moving east. Definitely a significant earthquake, guys. This is going to be talked about on definitely bigger websites. We already have the Weather Channel talking about it. This was about an hour and a half ago now that this even took place. But this risk that's going on with California and the West Coast is already showing its face, especially with an earthquake near one of these giant lakes, too. This is a very significant thing when you're having earthquakes near water. Because of the underground structure of what's going on in this area, and also the path that these aftershocks take is very significant. You can see on this chart here, this earthquake chart, vaguely these red fault lines that run through this area. So it makes sense of why this earthquake happened here and why these aftershocks are happening where they're happening. You can see this line runs all the way up the west side of this mountain range here, and then all the way down into where Salt Lake City is in this area. So I will be checking other websites. In fact, I'll check right now to see if there is any damage from this quake. Utah earthquake. Let that fix itself. Recent earthquakes. All right, we're not seeing any legit articles or websites on this just yet, but with the Weather Channel stating that there's been power outages, I'm sure this is going to be something that is talked about pretty rapidly, if not already, and we're just not seeing it right now. So let's check out Google Earth real quick. We'll zoom in, and we'll check out this area. I had another video prepared to say hi to you guys, but this was obviously taking priority at the moment. But this is what we're looking at, guys. A 5.7 earthquake, very shallow. To the east, or west rather, of Salt Lake City, Utah. Right up here, like I said, that Highway 80 runs all the way in towards Highway 15 and then Salt Lake City. And then we are just, let's see, this is about northeast of West Valley City for those of you that live there. And it was compared to Magna when they were looking at the magnitude of this. So I will do some more research into this. If there's any damage, we'll come back and talk about this. December 13th, 2019 was the day that they made predictions that there would be more earthquakes and stronger earthquakes in the Nevada, Colorado, West Coast, basically area, including Utah. So once again, these are the numbers for Utah. The largest earthquakes they've had in the past 86 years, which was a 6.5 86 years ago near Plain City, Utah, 10 kilometers in depth. We are not too far off that range right here with the third largest earthquake in about 90 years. Certainly the largest in 57 years, being that this is a 5.7 just under the Richmond, Utah earthquake, 5.9 58 years ago. So very significant stuff. We'll keep an eye on this area. So great to be back, guys. I will explain where I've been, or at least try to explain. And that's about it. Everyone stay safe. You know why. And we'll talk soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.